businessmen and not just a non-entity in the society. So that's what we do. And we partner with NGOs to do this. Thank you.
Thank you very much. So after the founders introduction, we'll go to the funders in the room. We'll also go to the mentors in the room who are also with us here today. So yes.
Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Omotoke Olugode, and I'm the founder of Terra Connect. Terra Connect is a platform that connects parents that have children living with disabilities to therapists. This idea came up during the COVID-19 pandemic. So essentially, we connect parents that have children living with disability to therapists from the comfort of their homes, and the therapy is at a subsidized price. I'm doing this, or why am I doing this as a female founder? Because it's not easy for parents to have a child with disability. We are all here in Nigeria, and we know the extra cost, the stigma, the marginalization, the discrimination that parents face. So for me, this business is like my passion. It's what I will be doing for the rest of my life. So thank you all.
Oh, thank you very much for helping to solve a very, very crucial problem. Do you have any more founders in the room, or we go straight to funders? Okay.
All right. Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Olakwe Juwanganga. I'm the founder of Pluto's Page Limited. So at Pluto's Page Limited, we help small businesses with their bookkeeping, and we also help them record their daily transactions, because we believe that small businesses are so busy with their daily operations, and they are focused on getting sales and ensuring that they meet up with supplies. So because of this, they are so busy and they are unable to sit down to arrange their books. And at the end of the day, every cash flow, they classify it as profits. So we help them classify their cash flow as their profit and their capital, for them to know how to go about their making decisions about their finance. So why we do this, we also notice that small businesses are actually exposed to a lot of accounting softwares out there, and because they're actually running a small business, and these softwares are actually cumbersome, and they're kind of tasking for them. So we're able to build our own in-house software, which is a PEP code. We launched it last year, and so this is to help small businesses, record their invoices and their expense. It has the inventory management features as well, to help them track their inventory, to know their inventory valuation at the end of the day. So, and what excites me about being a female founder is the fact that it helps me multitask. I'm a wife and I'm a mother, so I've been able to manage my home and also my business, and at the same time my career. So another thing is the fact that I'm a finance person. I had over 10 years of experience in the field of, in finance, but I'm able to do beyond what actually studied in school. And I see myself doing project management, managing my tech teams, and also doing sales and marketing. Thank you very much.
Wow. You're building the home of solutions for small businesses. Adekunle, we should just close shop and give her to run LSCTF.
Hi, good afternoon. My name is Choma Eswabam. I am the founder of a legal tech platform called Seat Attorneys. What we specialize in doing is helping startups, especially founders, to be able to navigate legal complexities. Now, what we notice is that in this particular side of the world, the marketplace can be a bit complex, especially if you're dealing with different sects of clientele or you're dealing with regulators. Some things can be not that clear for a founder that's coming in. And so what we notice is that a lot of founders come to us at a later stage when they have entered into one issue or the other. So what we do is we position ourselves to be able to help founders to be able to navigate legal issues and to be able to scale their businesses. And so we provide major legal support and also business insight. What makes us to be very unique is the fact that we're not just a platform that provides legal advisory guidance, but we also have business insights, having worked with a lot of founders over time. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. Interestingly, I think there are two startups here that everybody here is their client. The legal lady and the HR lady. Yeah, just pick your people as you go. So next we'll be introducing to us the mentors in the room and also the funders. When the funders are talking, money is talking. So that on the 28th of June, when you're done and you're pitching, they're like, I like that lady, 50,000 pounds, just collect. And they're like, so the funders in the room, please pass the mic around. The funders in the room. Are there any funders in the room? Yeah. And after that, you give the mic to the mentors in the room. Yeah.
Good morning, everyone. And let me first of all say well done to LSETF and to all the partners from Bawe Godalo to
GIZ, to
each
Africa
and every
Local,
one
to a
of them.
Madhouse. Let me pick
Well
these their
done.
names.
So my name is Chidi Coltswet, and I lead an organization called Donors for Africa Foundation. And to simplify what we do, we connect social impact leaders to funding or to the philanthropy space. And we are pivoting as an organization to full-time philanthropy. So I guess the biggest joy I have being a founder is seeing the people you support, the young lady who starts a social enterprise and goes from zero to accessing $1 million in funding just simply because there was a mind or mental switch and a capability she now has to be able to access the big funds to scale up her impact. That's what gives me the biggest joy.
Thank you very much. So we go to the mentors in the room. Okay, sorry, you.
Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Adesola. I work with Founders
Please,
Factory.
the mic. Yeah.
Can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay, so I work with Founders Factory Africa. We invest in startups from idea to Series A stage, and we have a special program for very early stage founders. It's called the GenF program, where we help startup founders that have an idea to test and validate their idea, and we go ahead to invest in these founders. And we also invest from pre-seed to Series A stage, and mostly in tech startups, for startups that have a large potential to scale.
Thank you very much. Looks like we might be having some money discussions even from orientation ceremony. The mentors in the room, Nkem here.
Hello, everyone. My name is Nkem Okocha. I'm the founder of Mama Money. What we do is we provide digital financial services for underserved women across Nigeria. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Any other mentor in the room? Or we go online? Yeah.
Hi, good day, everyone. My name is Princess. I'm co-founder at Spurt. So basically what we do is we work with entrepreneurs, both female, male entrepreneurs, small business owners, to be able to accelerate their growth using digital and technological products. So we have different products. We also offer sort of like founder training, startup advisory, fundraising as well to these startup founders. Thank you.
Thank you very much. So now we go online to mentors. So please, mentors online, please put on your video and please introduce yourselves. Technical team, aka Ife, are we good? Is anybody speaking?
Good morning, everyone.
Good morning. Can you unpin the... Can you unpin this so that we can see whose video is on?
Okay. Are you ready for
Okay, we can see you now and we can hear you.
Okay, can you see me?
Yes, we can see you
And you can hear
clearly. Wow, thank you very, very much. So please, the next mentor, I think IZ was trying to unmute herself.
Hi, everyone. Good afternoon.
Hi, we cannot see you.
I cannot put on my mic now. My
get them before the event was over, but it's not looking like this. My name is Andrea Watson. I am co-founder of Deadeye. Deadeye used to be Deadeye Africa, we were just now in Lagos, but now we've expanded to the US and to the UK. What we are, we're a good company for businesses, we're a good company for startups. I'm also co-founder of Hire Foster and Centerfree. So yes, it's female entrepreneur. But one of the businesses are sort of tied to each other and towards growth of businesses and startups. I'm excited to be here. I've been listening to all of the business ideas and all of the founders in the room, and I am so excited for you because where you are at now is like the business. Not exciting, but it will test you. It will really test you for a business of your life, and I am glad to be a part of this. Looking forward to offering the insight and the experience and the knowledge that I have to help businesses for female founders like yourself do. And yeah, thanks for being here.
Thank you very much, Isaac. We look forward to seeing you if you can still make it. The next mentor in the room. Just unmute yourself and speak. And hopefully we can see your face too. You are offering the next person, so don't hear me.
Okay. Good afternoon, everyone. I'm guessing that the CEO of Sun.
One of our founders. Okay.
Sir?
You're one of our founders, just to be clear.
Sorry, you said?
Continue. She's one of our founders.
Yes, I'm one of the founders here. So, Solar Enterprise is a cloud-based agri-tech platform where we produce nutritious, healthy, and tasty natural food like soya milk. These are packaged with different apps and distributed to our interactive e-commerce platform. Okay, so this product includes soya milk and other packaged organic food. So that is although it is set up by being by regain traction by being onboarded and taking strategic partnerships with several notable bodies here in Nigeria, such as Iowa, Capital Food Chain Makers, and yeah, so that's just my passion at first was just providing a healthy plant with soya milk, which is soya milk. But over time, due to traction because people will have to looking for more organic packaged food to increase our food, and we are working as their customers in active food. We are currently functioning in 2 states, looking to spread our wings, but for now they are functioning in 2 states.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much. Is there any mentor online, or we can go ahead and we can have them as we go? I think we'll have the mentors online as we go on. The next, so that we don't lose much of our time, the next part of the agenda is to introduce the program to us. And while the presentation slide is going up, we also like to recognize
the Executive Director of ISN, Innovation Support Network, Oge Naife. Thank you very much for coming. Thank you very much. And also we have there are two CNN recognized founders. The founders of formerly Jantugidi, now Cargo Plus. Say hi to the audience. Thank you very much. In the next few minutes, we'll be having them here share the experiences and journeys as two female founders building an internationally recognized brand from Nigeria. Thank you very much for coming, and we're really glad to have you here. So yes, we'll be going to telling you about what you have gotten yourself into. That is clearly what it is. You use your hand to apply. Use your leg to come here. The program is for 8 weeks. Okay, just put in the slides up. If you can get anybody from Man House to help with the technical side of things. Okay, awesome. Okay, I think we can unpin these guys, ourselves from the TV. So now, just so that we don't waste so much of our time, if you look at that picture, you will discover that we have just 1, 2, 3, 4 female founders. And that picture depicts why we are doing this. And that's why I put this picture up to say, by the time we are doing our next incubation program, it will be strictly female pictures as our posters. So this program, Lagos Innovates, Africa Local, Man House, B&I, GIZ, and of course, LSCTF, that is the umbrella body. Next slide. Lagos Innovates is the first of its kind in sub-Saharan Africa. We wear it with so much shoulder pad that every other Innovate, Edo Innovate, Ogun Innovate, Katsina, all of them came after us. We are their elder brother. And what we do is to provide support for the ecosystem. When we say ecosystem, we mean talent, startup founders, hubs. We have 4 major flagship programs. The Workspace Voucher Program. This program is a workspace subsidy. It means that if you apply to us, we give you a voucher and you can work from any of our 70 partner hubs in Lagos for between 6 months to 1 year, and we'll take care of over 80% of your rent while you are there. And because you are here as female founders, if you participate in the pitch exercise, you're automatically eligible for a voucher, so that when you're done here, you keep building without the hassle of rent, internet, or electricity. The next program is the Idea Hub program, which I need not explain further. That is the program that metamorphosed into the Female Founders and Funders program. The next program is a Talent Development program, where we understand that sometimes what you need as a founder is not even money alone, it's people that can build for you. And we are training people. Currently, we're in partnership with Ingrid. We are training mid-level tech talents in Java, Linux, cybersecurity. And when they're done, we ensure that we can place them with you either for internships or for entry-level placements to keep helping you build. The next program is our Hub Loan program. And that is, so for hubs across Lagos, Workstation, Impact Hub, CC Hub, they require capital to be able to expand. Ideally, the model is they sometimes act as venture studios and they support startups. And when they raise, they take their equity back to increase. But the question is, they also need to give back. They also need to get better Starlink service, better internet via Starlink, get more air conditions, also expand across Lagos. So we give them access to up to 30 million naira loan at 9% per year interest rates, so that they can expand and they can house our founders and give them the support that they need. So those are our 4 flagship programs. The Idea Hub program, which is what metamorphosed into this, we clearly look for technology-enabled businesses, innovatively driven enterprises who are going after highly scalable opportunities and are based in Lagos. So that's why we were hounding you for your LIRS and your LASRA. Jamil, they have their LASRA and LIRS. Because if you don't give me, the auditor there would have my neck for it. So please help me to help you. And also, we host 3 to 4 cohorts annually. This is the second cohort. We have 2 more cohorts to go for the end of the year. And since 2018, we've incubated 194 startups. If I add your number to it, it will be 215 startups that have gone through our incubation programs from 2018 till date. Next slide. And the Female Partner and Founders Program, pioneering initiative, just like Idea Hub itself, and is specifically for female founders, and a parallel acceleration program for female founders. The aim is to close that gap on both sides of the divide, so that we have the person pitching and the person writing the checks being from the same gender, and also understand themselves, understand why they need to do what they're doing. Simultaneously, we seek to empower and amplify the presence of credible female investors who are ready to write the checks for you guys in the next 8 weeks. Next slide. 21 startups from 155. Please put your hands together for yourselves. Thank you very much and congratulations for making it here. It was a battle. There's some people here that we had stepped down their name at about 10 o'clock, and about 11 we are like, well, I think we have room for one more person. And I'm like, yeah, this supposed to be living God. And someone dropped the application at the 99th hour. And I'm like, there's somebody else that reached out and said she was able to apply. And we're like, fantastic. Why not come in? So congratulations. 134 people wish they could be here today. So once again, congratulations. Next slide. So what does the program look like? We have 8 master classes. Your classes start from next week. They will be every Wednesday, except if we have public holidays or the like, that they can be earlier in the week. They most likely will start around 1 p.m. because we don't want to take from your day. 1 p.m. it will be our 1 hour to 2 hour classes and various topics. The partner at Briga, Tosi Infani Rodada, will be taking your first class on Startup 101. And I'm happy she's doing that because she was the pioneer head of Lagos Innovates. So we are happy to be bringing her back to take the first master class for the female founders. Also, you have your mentorship sessions by next week, and then you have check-ins with them every week for the next 8 weeks. They're able to spend their time with you, help you with your product, help you with your planning, help you with your processes. The third part is the journey series, and that is where we bring in female founders who are going to take us on a journey of how it was for them. For this program, it's happening on the same day as your legal masterclass at Bawa and Negodalo. And we have the founders of Money Africa, Tosin Olasende, and the founder of Free Recycle, Ifedolapo Russe, will tell us about their journey. And finally, we have your pitch day, where if we had our time, we would allow 21 of you pitch. But we don't have that time. So we are going to have a pre-pitch, and we're going to take between 5 and 10 of you to pitch on that day. So the ball is in your court. We will let you know when the pre-pitch is, most likely by the 6th week of the program, to prepare for the pitch day at the end of the program. Now, the incubation program ends with a pitch day, where you have the opportunity to pitch to angel investors, the funders, and you also get access to workspace vouchers. So the schedule, your first class is on the 24th of April. Startup 101, business modeling, product-led growth, startup finance, startup and the legal environment, startup operations, and then sustainable business strategy and investment readiness. That class is very important because that class is taken by the global head of capital at Endeavor, and he himself said, please, I don't care when you give me the date. I want to be part of this program. So that's why he's giving that class. On 28th of June, we would have your pitch day. Next slide. And our sourcing to accelerators, just like Techstars. And interestingly, Oyin Shulebo should have been here, but she expressed disappointment because she's out of the country. But she said she would be at your pitch day because for her, when they got in Get Equity, she said to me on LinkedIn, I said, Akim, are there more startups? I said, there are plenty. So I said, come on 28th of June, and you pack as much as possible to be brought into the accelerator programs. We have some of our startups page at the Lagos State, at Lagos State D Room, and also one of our startups win grants even across the country. And we hope that in the next few weeks to months, we'll have your pictures here as the pride of the program. Next slide. Now, these are your mentors and masterclass facilitators. We'll be pairing you with them in the next few days, and you'll be having your sessions. We hope that you enjoy and immerse yourself in the next 8 weeks. But most importantly, what we look out for is the bond amongst the founders. To the extent that if someone is not in class, you're able to say, where is Quick Out? Where is she? Where is Iyewu? Where is she? Because of that bond that would have been created. I say that I used to work at Reliance. I was employee number 5 or so before I went back to school. And all our printing jobs were done by Printivo. All our payment infrastructure was done by Paystack. All of them were YC startups. So Paystack, all your employees, will give them health insurance. Do our payment gateway. Printivo, give us your employees as a release for health insurance. Do our printing business. So I see the opportunity for interactions and businesses amongst you guys. We have an HR person. Don't worry, the legal person will sign the MOU so that there won't be fights at the end of the day. But please eventually work with yourselves. That is the most important thing you can give yourself. Next slide. These are testimonials from our founders. For them, it has been 2 things. Those classes that help them. Someone said, after every master class, I go back to the drawing board and say, Kai, I have been doing nonsense. And then when she thinks, I think I'm getting it, then she has a session with her mentor. She's like, Father, Lord, no wonder. But that is the kind of experience they've had. People that challenge you, people that tell you, I know this is making sense, but don't do it because I've done it before and I enter canal eventually. So you're able to leverage on the experiences, and they're able to, and for them even after 8 weeks. So interestingly, we gave a founder a mentor. On the pitch day, the person's name was in board advisors for the startup. How did you do it? But it was relationship. So for you guys, while we can pair you with the mentors, how that relationship will be is in your hands. 8 weeks, they are with you, but plus X. The plus X is how we're able to manage relationships with them afterwards. Next slide. So yes, I'll call on the representative of Africa Local to take the next section, which is talking about the funders aspect of the program. So Okwemepo, over to you. Okay, just quickly take it.
I'll let Okwemepo actually go through it, but I just wanted to quickly pitch. What we intend to do is to make sure that even the investors to have that name of being investors properly. It's no more just about having excess money or just looking to double your money. It's about making sure that that money goes far. And the curriculum that we have here would actually make experts in terms of our investors here. We're really looking forward to this ecosystem of both founders and funders, going through the whole course beyond just the 8 weeks. And on that note, I'll ask Okwemepo to take you through the class. Okay.
Good afternoon, everybody. So glad to be here. It's taken us a couple of weeks of preparing and pushing towards this date, so I'm very proud and happy to be here. Seeing everybody in person, translating your submissions from paper to faces now, and meeting everybody, so it's been great being here. So we've already talked about what Africa Local does, so I'll just go straight to the Funders Program, right? So the Funders Program is the parallel of the Founders Program. So ultimately our goal is for the founders and funders to be able to be connected and to build a network of ready funders willing to write first checks, right? Our goals are to build knowledge and active participation of female local investors, improving opportunities of wealth creation among women, educate on key gender lens investment approaches in the African nuanced environment, provide practical exposure to institution first checks. So the program basically will run through modules on deal sourcing, due diligence, portfolio management, portfolio optimization, and effective navigating the African startup landscape. And then we have some joint classes with the experience at the startup finance class and the startup and legal environment class with BNI. And then the other master classes also cover building your investment network, and then we're going to simulate a practice portfolio putting the knowledge into action. So while the pre-pitch is going on for the founders, the funders will be putting their knowledge into action. And then the last two classes are sustainable business and commercial strategy, covering your ESG considerations and how to be able to look at startups and see their ESG standing. And then the final class is measuring impact beyond financials, showing you key metrics to look out for that apart from financials, that are also the soft metrics that you want to also be able to use to evaluate a startup. Like we mentioned earlier, women tend to see those nuances faster and more strongly. So we want to be able to hone that and be able to translate those into actual metrics that you can track. And then finally, the pitch day where the funders and founders get to meet and watch the pitch as well. So that's pretty much it. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. And once again, congratulations. Please put your hands together for yourselves. Thank you for making it here. So, any questions regarding the flow of the program? Can we? The dates. So the classes are virtual because we understand that you have to pursue money. But we have just one physical master class as a legal master class. But in between virtual, you would get all your calendar invites by over the weekend, max by Monday. You get all your calendar invites, and you're all on the WhatsApp group. I had to do this before I say this. We are going to be in your dreams. You must not miss a master class. It is virtual. So where's Anu? Anu, please come. So she's going to be the one reminding you, borderline sometimes harassing you because you must not miss your sessions. So please, this is Anu. She's apologizing in advance for what she will do for the next 8 weeks, but it is all for your own good. Yeah, so they are virtual and then physical master classes. Any other question? Yes. You want the slide? Is there anything you want inside it? The schedule, yes, I'll drop it on the group. Yeah, we'll drop the schedule on the group. Sure. Yes. No, for everyone. So when you pitch, because we have 2 levels of pitch, we have the pre-pitch and we have the final pitch day. For everyone that pitches at the pre-pitch, you are eligible for the voucher. Yes, so it depends. So we'll give you a voucher for 6 months or for 1 year based on the state of your startup. Now, because it's a huge subsidy, you can put as many and use, and what you're paying is just the differential, basically, yeah. So if your voucher can seat all your team members, you can use it how you want. And across 70 partner hubs in Lagos, we have hubs in Badagry, we have hubs in Ekpe, in case you find yourself there for a month. And you're allowed to roam, so you can use Workstation in February and decide to use Impact Hub in March and go around and have a feel of Lagos. So any of our hubs, and you can use this place too. I think you're registered as one of our hubs. Yes, so you can come back here and use this place. You might just want to just get inspiration from the gallery and cool off from those investor meetings and asking you for those informations. So yes, after you're all eligible, so far you're interested in the pre-pitch. Any other questions? Yes, HR, do you want to be clear? Yes, unfailingly, yes. 1 p.m. Yes, I was thinking the questions will come from the lawyer, but I don't know where it's coming from HR. Yes, Wednesday. The only time you don't have a Wednesday is because there's one of the days where there's a public holiday or so. If not, your classes are Wednesday, 1 p.m. to 3 p.m. You have your classes and then we have Q&A afterwards. Yeah. Yes, you get all your calendar. You get the calendar on the group, and then you get your calendar invites, your emails at least 3 business days before the class, just to give you the link and the access. We have to help you so that everybody is carried along. Yes. Is it to be funded? No. So at the pitch day, so it's almost like, I don't know if I can use all those dating reality TV shows where the guys are in one room, the girls are in one room, and then the final day they all meet. Now, if you want to get the big stage, then you give us your best at the pre-pitch. But it doesn't mean that we won't have funders and founders interact and try to write a check. Now, you're also going to be meeting them at your legal master class. So you're allowed to start drawing their shirts from there. So that when you meet them at the pitch day, they already know how much you want. And interestingly, even if, in terms of numbers, well, one funder can decide to fund 5 startups. And 5 funders can decide to fund just one of you. So, yes, we have 22 funders, 21 founders, but sometimes the checks can be written for multiple startups at the same time. But our aim is to ensure that we are training them enough to write those checks for you. So help us to make it easy for them to give you all their money by the 28th of June. Yeah.
If I could just add a little bit of flavor to that. The mindset of the investor sometimes is to manage risk. And in managing risk, there are different options for investors. At the angels, rather than go it alone, they may want to decide to come as a syndicate. You know, there are different options that might be looked at. But the most important thing for the funders is knowing how to identify an opportunity, a viable opportunity, not just it sounds good. Viability is going to be very important. Now, when they've actually reached that bridge, 1 or 2 investors may want to come together as a syndicate, or they may want to go alone. But they would look at everything. They will do their own due diligence. So get ready for the tough questions and the rest of them. But what we're trying to say is at least you are 1 step closer to getting that check and ticking up all the boxes that will be possible.
Thank you very, very much. So it's not as if the money is there, but it's not going to come as easy as you think, but the money is there. Ladies and gentlemen, please, this is to recognize the pioneer head of Lagos Innovates, Tosin Faniru Dada. Thank you very much. A lot of these programs were designed by her and executed first by her, and we are just continuing with what she's done. She's also a mentor, and she's taking your first master class next week, Wednesday. Thank you very much, Tosin. To your right or left are your colleagues at LSCTF. I'm sure they are looking at you like, hi, Tosin. So yes, any other questions before we go to a testimonial by a founder who has gone through this program from the last cohort? Any more questions? No. So please put your hands together as I invite the founder of Moazo Africa, Tolu Makinwa, to tell us about our experience in the 8th cohort of the Idea Hub, which was the just concluded cohort. And interestingly, our mentor is here, but I'm sure she will tell us who the person is by herself. Okay. So she said, not she said, she wants. And because she's a female founder, we have to get it. So yes, it's going to be a chat, few minutes, and I'll start with the question. Why did you apply for the Idea Hub program? Why? Because you had time on your hands?
Hello, everyone. Hi, everyone. Hello, everyone. My name is Tolulokwe Makiwa. I can see Mama Money. I can see my mentor. Please, a round of applause to my mentor, Mrs. Mokwe Abudu, the founder of Afri Local VC. I am nervous. I don't know why. Right. So let me just say what I do, right, before we go ahead. So I am currently the executive director and the founder of Moazo Africa. And so what we do at Moazo Africa is we're a platform-based, we're a tech-enabled platform-based organization, and we connect social enterprises, particularly African social enterprises, to market, to capital, and to communities. And Moazo Africa is currently based in 7 African countries. Just yesterday, we got an introduction to the president of Liberia to bring whatever we are doing in Nigeria down to Liberia. And so that is already in progress. So we've been doing a lot of work, and we've been tapping into our network effect. The more we get users, I mean, social enterprises like you. I know that there are some social enterprises here. I was listening to you, and you're into the circular economy work. That's, I mean, we have something, we have some partnership there, right? So that's what I do, and it's been very challenging. I have a beef with you because when you were asking people, founders, when you were asking founders what questions, I mean, you took the microphone and you passed me by. So I don't know what your punishment will be, but then we'll see afterwards.
Now, when she was in the cohort, she wasn't talking like this. So now she's done. Now I have punishment. Okay.
Right. So as a founder, now let me go to that question that you asked initially before I come back to your question. I think the most interesting thing about being a founder is that you wake up with a lot of emotions. 1 minute you're so sure of what you're building. The next minute you are unsure how you want to validate your idea. The next minute you're unsure of if the collaborators or what's the word now? The gatekeepers will open the gates for you, or how you can push the gates open for yourself. So it's a whirlwind of emotions, right? But the most beautiful thing is when your idea is validated, even by the smallest person in the room, validating that idea or validating that solution. Who would have thought that in July or in August, my team and I will be going down to Liberia, not just going down to anywhere, but being hosted by the president of Liberia to come talk about what social entrepreneurship, I mean, how we can further create some sort of platform for young people to start thinking about businesses, businesses in form of impact, businesses in form of how can whatever I am doing, how can it impact the society and the environment? So it's really a lot. So yeah, this is just me saying it's a whirlwind of emotions. So yeah.
Back to the question. Why did you apply?
Okay, so typically, Moazo Africa started out as an organization, right? And just like I mentioned, the fact that we're always mistaken for a non-profit organization. And that's because Nigeria's Corporate Allied Matters Act does not have any provision for social enterprises to be registered. So it's been a whole lot of, should we register as an NPO? Should we register as an NGO? Should we be incorporated by guarantee? Should we be incorporated by trustees? So it's a whole lot of confusion, right? But at the same time, when we started building Moazu Africa, I realized that there's a lot of knowledge gap there's a whole lot of knowledge gaps that I could identify as a founder. And one of those knowledge gaps that I was able to identify is integrating integrating technology into social impact. So how do we integrate AI into social impact? How do we integrate chatbots, AR, VR, IoTs, right? And because of that, I realized that we can actually build a tech solution from Moazu Africa. But I didn't know enough. And because ignorance can be a blessing sometimes, I applied, right? And I'm thankful to everybody who applied, right? So that's why I'm here. I applied, and now I'm here. So.
Thank you very much. So let's now go to in between applying and now you're here. How was the experience for you? The classes, the mentorships, what stood out of it? Or what stood out of it for you?
Do you want me to be truthful?
If it is a good thing, be truthful. If it's not a good thing, hold your peace.
I'm going to be as honest as I can be. To be honest, it is very immersive. Immersive because 1 minute you think you know something, and the next minute your life flashes before your eyes, and then you realize that, I don't know as much. So yeah, it was very immersive. I loved the master classes because they were highly relatable, they were highly practical, to be honest. And I like the fact that every teacher, every mentor, they were so open to us. For anyone to give you a gift of access, it's a lot. My mentor is here, and every Tuesday, 10 a.m., my mentor and I, we are talking about how we can move Moazu Africa from where it is to where it ought to be. And I'm so sure that she's proud of us now. She came into our workspace at the Bulb. She came into our workspace 2-3 weeks ago, and she was smiling. She said, yeah. So this is where you cook all those things, eh? And I recently stumbled on a post on LinkedIn as well, where she was commenting about the great works you're doing. So yes, it would never have been possible without Idea Hub. So it is first immersive. Secondly, it is very practical. And thirdly, if you're in for long-term partnerships, you would definitely find people, fellow founders that you can work with. So right now, I am currently working with Vant. Vant, they are building a financial tech solution. And we're thinking about how can we further break the funding gap within, cross-border transaction. And so we are trying to think about a solution for social enterprises to easily transact across borders. And that would never have been possible without IDH. So that, it is immersive, accessibility, yes, partnership, yes, and good vibes. So if you're looking out for founders that have good vibes, come over.
So on the basis of good vibes, her name on the group is Woman Leader.
Oh, yes.
She's a woman, because I think there are about those 3 women out of 30 founders. And she's one of the female founders who gave them a run for their money. So which of the master classes do you think you enjoyed the most, and why?
I would always say is the legal masterclass. I love the legal masterclass. Oh my God. And let me tell you why I love that. His name is very long, so I am always very careful. What's his name again? It
was UI Law that took the legal masterclass for their cohorts, and it was a physical session.
It was a physical session, even though we got home late because of the traffic.
That was the day that people spent almost 7 hours on Third Mainland Bridge.
It was the best masterclass for me because, like I mentioned, social enterprises, we do not have that regulatory framework in Nigeria. Unlike our neighboring countries like Liberia and Ghana that have a social enterprise policy, we do not have that here in Nigeria. So it's very difficult because you are grappling with what should you register your social enterprise as, right? And now you find a lawyer who is telling you that, see, this is the way, work here needs, right? So it was very clear for me. That legal masterclass was super clear, and it was, see, I am sure that you have B&I here, Bawa and Igodalo. So for a number of for a number of startups that you are somehow confused in terms of what should you register as, in terms of how do you like the understanding of, your understanding of equity, your understanding of intellectual property, everything was so simplified. And trust me, I can say that because of that legal masterclass, I became one of the beneficiaries of Pocket Lawyers. So in the next 3 months, they will be giving us free legal advisory. And that just simply means all of our legal headaches will be resolved by them. So that's to let you know how much that masterclass meant for me. Thank you.
Wow. I'm sure B&I is looking at you like, whatever they enjoy, we'll give you times 10 of it. It is B&I, don't worry. I know what I'm sure they'll give you. So just to close, what is that one thing you'd want to tell the female founders who are starting their journey today?
Like I mentioned, building anything is tough, but you see, we have an unfair advantage. And the reason why we have an unfair advantage is, number one, we are first females. So the world gives somehow preferential treatments to people like us to an extent, right? But I can say something that regardless of whatever it is, I'd want you all to know that it's a full circle moment. There are periods where nothing happens. You just keep building in silos, or you keep building in silence, right? And there are also periods where those quiet seasons become very loud, and that's when the winds come in. You know, all of this period, all of this whirlwind of emotions, it just further validates what you're building. And just like Mrs. Adebakin of AHA, just like she rightly said in one of our founders,
the Journey
series, she said something that you should be convinced in your solutions, and you should know when to pivot. We started out as an organization, and then we realized that we could build tech solutions, you know, from what we are building. And now we are going to Liberia to talk about these tech solutions for social enterprises. So do not be afraid to pivot, and always know that you have an unfair advantage, right? And lastly, they say that women always support women, and other people would say that women are their greatest enemies. I do not believe that. If you have, Ms. Faisha, you're looking at me here, you would know that you have a very great support system. So just look around you and know that you have very, very great support system, and key into that. The sky is your starting point, or the sky is your limit. I don't know, but I'm thinking above the skies anyway. But lastly, there are weeks when nothing happens. There are decades when nothing happens, and there are weeks when decade happens, right? So please do not be afraid to dream. Do not be afraid to pivot. That's my...
Thank you very much. And on that note, we get to the end of the testimonial from an alumni of the... Yes. Let me take a picture so that I can Photoshop myself into the picture with the Liberian president. So I'm sure you had a very, very nice view of what the Idea Hub program is about. Before we play the video, one thing we are going to also do in your dreams when we start disturbing is our assessment. Because we are a social impact public sector organizations, because we are a social impact public sector organization, we are very keen on impact. So we'll be sending you your baseline assessment, which for us is our starting point. So you have to fill it out, the link, do they have the...
So sorry, please, I quickly have to do this. So they're going to share it on the screen, you scan it. It's the baseline assessment. And so 6 months after you have finished this program, you're also going to be filling the impact assessment. So please, I'm begging you. No, the last quarter, that's batch 8. We still have costs to settle, but for you guys, so that's it over there. That's the baseline. Please just scan it, and right now, please fill it. We need every one of you to fill it so that we can have a qualitative data to really analyze. The batch 8, we got to know that most of the founders, they need, what they said they need is two things that they said they need as the funding and the workspace. And, that's what Lagos State Innovate is providing. So we now know that, yes, Lagos State, the Lagos Innovate is really providing the opportunity that founders need. So please, you can just do that within, I think, like 120 seconds. You are through with the filling of the form. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much. Please. Okay, just to introduce, this is the monitoring and evaluation specialist at LSCTF. So please fill the form. Fill the form. The auditor is at the back. Okay, and we'll also we'll drop the link on the group for those that can't scan it. So please work with Anu or Ife to drop it on the group. So right about now, we would be having a very engaging session with two founders who have worked together to build an internationally recognized startup in Africa and if not the world. They are one of our beneficiaries at LSCTF, and we are so, so proud of what they've done. And to introduce them is to introduce their CNN interview to you. Enjoy while they make their way downstairs.
Africa continues to make a mark on the global tech industry, and more women are making an impact in the field. Like this duo in Lagos, Nigeria.
My name is Lagoon. I'm a co-founder at Janskini Worldwide. My name is Ujama Apasa, and I'm a co-founder at Janskini Worldwide.
Kike and Amma started logistics company Jan2Gili in 2013 after they returned to Nigeria from the UK while still working a 9-to-5.
Amma and I work in an oil and gas company. And I always ask them, I'm actually going to come back. They're school in the UK. We were cosmetic certain stores. But at the time, shippers then would charge a high minimum rate. They were expensive, and then we also couldn't pay with our Nigerian cards. So we decided to solve the problem for ourselves.
And Jan2Gili, a name based on Nigerian slang, has taken them further than they ever dreamed it would.
Jan2Gili. Gili means Lagos or Nigeria. My husband coined that name for us and said, you guys are bringing things from the UK to Nigeria. Why don't you just call it Jan2Gili? We provide services such as import, that's deliveries from the UK, US, Canada, and other countries as well, exports from Nigeria anywhere in the world. User services is in the system from any part of Lagos and part of Nigeria to another country or another state. We offer local deliveries within Nigeria and as well as nationwide deliveries. Kike and Anna say tech has played a big part in Jan2Gili's expansion, especially in the past few years. So in the past, very good and very active delivery was one of the several symptoms. We have started with through third-party delivery companies. In 2017, we decided to do the web app. We noticed a 60% increase in the numbers of our customers. Because customers are now able to order things online, now have to wait for the delivery, it's a new trend.
Ladies and gentlemen, this video is 10 minutes long.
It would have been done with our interview by that time. Please put your hands together for Kike Lomo and Ujama as they come to share their startup journey as female founders. A round of applause for them, ladies and gentlemen. So your next CNN video, you must put this picture there. Your next video at CNN or Al Jazeera, this one must be there. And everything. So, being a female founder, one, has its own interesting peculiarities. Now it's two people for the past almost, if not more than 7 years. 11th year, interesting. How did it start?
Okay, hi everyone, good morning. Thank you so much for having us, and thank you to LSTF for always having our back and remembering us. So yeah, why Jan2Gili started? As I said in the video, basically we were schooled in the UK, came back to Nigeria, and we always wanted to shop. I'm sure everybody in this room can actually relate. Whether you're shopping for yourself or for your business, you're always bringing one thing or the other in or out or within Nigeria. So we would always ask, do you know anybody coming back from JAND? As we always saw on social media as well. So we thought, why don't we try and solve this problem? So we saw something that we had an issue with. Rather than complain about the high minimum wage back then, rather than complain about not being able to use our Nigerian cards to make purchases, we thought we'll solve the problem for ourselves. And it started as a side project. We never in our wildest dreams expected that we'll be here 10 or 11 years later. So yeah, that's how we started. We did a test shipment with our family and friends. And to the glory of God, 11 years later, we're still here.
11 years later. Star Plus song is 4 years, don't waka. Your one is 11 years, don't waka. How did you guys meet and then decide that we want to do this together? Because I'm sure the idea did not pop on your head at the same time, 2 a.m. in a dream from the angels. It was someone with the idea sharing it with somebody else, and then that keying in happened. How?
Hi, everyone. My name is Amma. So basically, our husbands are really close. Then they were our boyfriends like 10, 11 years ago.
So now they are husbands, Abi?
They are husbands.
Aha, let's clarify that one.
So it was through that we actually met each other. And we started working together. And at lunchtime, we spent our lunch times literally on ASOS every day, shopping. And it was just based on that problem that, we had the common problem. And we're like, you know what, let's try and figure it out. We got along. We had our different strengths. And we just decided to start the business. And, 11 years later, we're still together. So we call it our second marriage, basically.
Interesting. So the next question is, as deep and realistic as it is going to be, now co-founder relationships in this part of the world always have their rocky times. Even P-Square at some point they separated. Before they now remember that what God had joined together, let nobody put us on that. They then came back. How was it like working together for 11 years? Because you guys are two different people bounded by just one solution. Were there rocky times, and how did you manage it?
So yes, we agree that co-founder relationships sometimes end up in turmoil, whether you're male or female. And we know of other female co-founder relationships that have actually packed up. But how have we managed it? I think separation of roles, first of all. So I know what I'm responsible for. I'm based on my strengths. I'm a lawyer. I write. I speak. Our templates, I just know what I handle. And then I'm more customer facing. While Amma is more, in fact, anything money, anything calculations, anything to do with, tech operations fall on her lap. So just understanding who does what. So there's no, but I thought you were going to do this. Oh, no, but so those are some of the first things that we have to do, separation of roles. And then I think a key thing also, even before going into business with anyone, it has to be someone that you trust, 100%. I know that circumstances, you won't know who you trust until something goes wrong, right? But then before things even go wrong from the beginning, how do we set up this business? We both agreed to have a joint account, so a corporate account. Just knowing how she handles money, how I handle money, helped us get to trust each other. And I think also because of how we met, we know that if we mess up, we're also messing up a foundational relationship. So I think those kinds of things continue to keep us grounded. But then, back to stormy times, I think open communication is key. So if there's something that is done, I can tell you for the last 11 years, we've never had a bust up, ever.
Wait, so
ever.
You've never had I'm not doing again,
No,
collect Jan, let me take
never, ever. Hand on heart, that has never happened. It's never crossed my mind. It's never happened, and it never will. Because I think we have, when you buy into the vision, you're not just there for the money or for the good times. You're there for even the down times when things are bad. When the customers are dragging you on Instagram, you are dealing with it together. I don't think, you don't come away from that just saying, take Jan, I'm taking Gidi. It's tough. It can be tough, but then you don't, when you buy into that vision and you know that you're not done yet, you can't just separate. You don't get married to leave the next day just because there's a little bit of a rough patch. Yeah.
Am I anything to add?
I think our differences as well have actually helped the relationship because of how different we are. I think it's a lot more difficult to clash. Kike is more extroverted. She's more outspoken. She's the person that can bring things out of you. So I'm more reserved. So if there is an issue, we can talk about it, but she would help to kind of put it in words, you know. So I think that has kind of made it easier. And like she said as well, just having that common goal. The common goal is the business. And that's what you're trying to push, so I mean, over anything else. So once you put that first, you'll find that it just makes things easier.
Wow. So for 11 years. I said when the Nokia is done with Guinness World Record, another one has to be broken here. For 11, even people that are born by the same parents.
No, so when you say, I mean, no box ups, but I mean, you can say, oh, I don't like the color, this color red, I like this color green. You know, we've had those kind of things, but then we do pros and cons about it, and that helps to solve the problem.
Interesting. Maybe we should add a masterclass, conflict resolution for founders, to be taken by both of you jointly. Now, building a startup is one of the hardest things in the world. When you get to those roadblocks, when you get to those, Father Lord, what is going to happen here? How do you guys approach solving those problems?
Or
you
like
can give us an example of a roadblock that you've encountered at some point and how you maneuvered it together.
Okay, so like it's the hardest thing anyone can do. In fact, thinking about it now, I'm even having a headache. But I think going around roadblocks, the first thing I would say is basically, in fact, I'm even trying to think of a roadblock now. My mind has gone blank. Okay, you go first.
Okay, so there are times, as you all know, we'll be very open. There are times that things have gone wrong. Moving a package from one point to the other, except you're the one physically carrying it on the plane, anything can happen. So we've had cases where something goes, I don't know, something gets broken. So somebody is bringing in their candles, yes, and then the sticks or whatever gets broken. Of course, it's a huge challenge. At the point where these issues arise, of course, we come together. What do we do? Manage the customer's expectations. Be open with the customer. Trace, investigate whatever happened. But then the key thing is deciding together. Even though we have opposing ways of doing things, I don't know, we just somehow, I think we're in such a good sync that we always end up at a good place. Now, when it comes to examples like that, things breaking and stuff, you learn your lesson from that instance and then put measures in place to avoid that from happening again. So for example, ensuring that you have an insurance cover in place. So all customers have to take insurance cover. You just learn lessons as you go along. So I think that when we hit those roadblocks, it's emergencies like SOS literally coming together, and with our team, not just us, with our team as well, taking into account advice from other people, calling into our network. There was a time we had a serious issue in the UK. I want to go into it, but we had a serious issue in the UK. All we had to do was go on LinkedIn to see who we had in common with these clients that we had an issue with. And leveraging on your network, tackling things together, not leaving the other person to deal with the situation, trying to do everything together, and just having that sense of togetherness. That's why you have that's one of the reasons why you have a co-founder. So make sure that you actually utilize it and work together, continue to work together. When you've gone through the worst with the person, your bond only gets stronger. So I think that helps.
Wow. I like the fact that you said, even if you're on opposing sides, you just always come back to the center and then meet at that point. And compromise. Now, there's a very critical part of building a startup. First is, yes, I want to solve this problem. You start solving it for either yourself, for people that you know, and then at some point, you then have to go from 20, 30 clients and scale to hundreds and thousands. How was that process for then Jantugidi, now Cargo Plus, the scaling? Cargo Plug, yes, Cargo Plug, yes. How was that process going from very few, confirm that this can work, very few clients, to scaling and making it a big deal?
I think the first thing was to introduce technology for us. Technology helped us manage the operations, and it's something that's so vital to businesses. That helped us in terms of operations, and I'll give an example. When we first started, when somebody wanted to get an address from maybe the UK or US, it would only have to be the times that we were awake. So between 9 to 5, right? And at that time, we even were in paid employment. So we used to write on our cards, text only. So people will have to text us, we'll send them the address and all of that. They'll pay a fee and all of that. And we found that over time, it was becoming more difficult to manage it. So we had to introduce technology where people could get the address at any time of the day. They could see their packages, they could track it, and all that information. They could pay for things online. So technology was the first one that helped us to scale. Also a team, because it used to be Kike and I doing everything. Everything from writing the invoice to running to send text messages to people say thank you for using the service, to delivering sometimes when there were no dispatch riders to deliver for us. But getting a team that were capable, that have kind of grown with us. We have a few people that have been with us since 2015 or something till now. So getting a capable team has actually helped in terms of scaling as well. And I think that's most of it.
I was also going to add processes. So just knowing, like we're here and then we don't deal with everyday transactions anymore. So our team is able to handle it because they know what to do. We hire someone, you give them a job description, they know what they're doing in the morning, they know the process. Even if we have a new person join us today, there's a process flow. They know, okay, can we ship a goosey to Canada, for example? They already have the answers, even without us having to manually micromanage the process. So I think those kinds of things, processes. I'm so happy that I no longer recognize our customers' names. I used to be so proud of recognizing customers' names, and I realized that that makes you small, you know, knowing every single person that uses you. You go somewhere and introduce yourself, and I say, oh, I use yourself. So I'm like, oh my goodness, I prefer that. Like not knowing, I don't need to know. Just keep using it. Let it not be about me. I don't want to be the center of the business. And I think that's letting go helps you actually grow. Yeah.
So, in other words, enjoy that moment where you can name your clients at the top of your head, knowing that at some point you would never be able to, no matter how long you try. In the building, did you have any pivot moment at any point? Was there any, what we came out to achieve, when the Glasgow started, we tried to say, man, let us go right EB. It is not looking like it's going to happen. Did you have that while building?
Yes, and even the previous speaker, Africa.
Mwazo Africa, Tolu
yes,
Makinwa.
Mwazo Africa. When she mentioned pivots, I thought it was interesting as well. So for us, there have been many times, even from the name Jan to Gidi, we started as UK to Nigeria, just doing UK to Nigeria deliveries.
But you did not change the name now. UK to Nigeria is Jan to
Gidi.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, that's what we're called. So now that one of the reasons we had to transition, I guess it's a pivot. So we pivoted from just doing UK to Nigeria deliveries, and now we're literally doing everything. We're now a one-stop shop for everything logistics. So please, this is my shameless plug. Use us for anything to do with logistics, in, out, or within. Air freight, sea freight. If you want to carry it on my back, we can do it. So yeah, pivoting has happened several times. Even during COVID, we started selling parcel sprays, sanitizer sprays. Like that was not, and face masks, because our riders had to use these things. They had to sanitize parcels. Things were coming in from the UK. At some point, some flights were able to come in. Flights were coming in from the UK, but of course we're all scared, like, let's not catch something while handling the packages. You know, there wasn't much information about whether you could actually catch from a package. So anyway, we started producing sanitizer sprays for ourselves, and obviously started selling them as well, face masks. Even from, as I said, the name, moving from UK to Nigeria to now doing everything, Germany, wherever it is you need a delivery from. And then also pivoting can also be changing your business model. One of the things Amma had mentioned was people had to pay us a handling charge. So before you even start, you're already paying us 8,000 Naira to just even access our UK address or our US address or whatever. And I think this is where listening to your customer comes in. We listened to the customers. Customers kept giving feedback about not being happy with having to pay 8K each time they want to use the service. It's a bottleneck. Maybe you're trying to pay and maybe pay stack or whatever doesn't go through, then they cancel the transaction and you start losing customers. So in listening to our customers, we went back to our books and thought, if we scrap this 8K, will we still be able to cover our costs and obviously make a profit? And thankfully, our finance team were able to do that, so we canceled the 8K. So I think for us, that was a major thing where we're scared. Like at the end of the month, we have enough money to pay our salaries? Because we haven't raised money. We're still, you know, largely bootstrapping. One of the first opportunities came from LSCTF. So, yeah, thank you.
So LSCTF, take your flowers,
yes,
take your flowers.
Yes. We always, in fact, LSCTF, I will digress.
Yeah, see, don't digress.
No,
where are we before? Continue.
Okay, so you know we started as UK to Nigeria. Now, LSCTF gave us a loan in 2017. We're part of the pilot, and we got 5 million Naira from LSCTF. When we got the 5 million, most of it went into expanding our fleet. We only had, I think, 3 or 4 bikes at the time. We expanded our fleet to about 10. And then, little did we know that COVID was going to hit, and international deliveries came to a halt. If not for the strength of our giddy-to-giddy service, our local delivery service, that we didn't even know we're going to need by COVID, I don't know how we would have been able to survive. Because our riders now became the main source of income for us for at least 2 months when flights were not coming into Nigeria. You can imagine an international delivery company not being able to offer international delivery services. So our bikes now became the major source of revenue. So I'm so grateful to LSTF. I would never forget the impact that they had on our business. And of course, we're able to pay our loan right on time in 2020. March 2020, I think we finished paying our loan exactly 3 years later. So please, we want more.
So I wanted to add to that as well. One of the people that actually told us, I mean, the person that told us about it is right there, Tosin. She was the one that called and said, look, you guys need to apply. And I think LSTF has pushed us from start to finish. And every time there's an event or there's something, they've always put us forward. I even remember when someone said they saw our business, I saw it in a newspaper and then saw it on a bus, on a BRT bus. And that's something that we couldn't have afforded ourselves, so we're very grateful.
So thank you very much, LSETF. Thank you.
What was the question again?
How has LSETF helped your business? And you answered it perfectly well. No other question again. So, in building, so while your startup was growing, metamorphosing, pivoting at some stage, I'm sure that you as founders have also evolved. How has that evolution happened? From who you were 11 years ago with the idea of let's change the world and let's move parcels, who are you now and how has that change come also with the business evolving?
I'll say first of all, so we were really involved when we started the business, like fully involved. We were the ones doing everything. And over time, we've kind of learned in our different roles to do a bit more of like business development. I'll say personally, from then till now, first of all, when we started, we didn't want to take anybody's money. We didn't want investments. And I think that was one of the biggest mistakes. We didn't understand what it meant. But that was why we didn't want to take anybody's money. And we thought we could grow with no investments. And I think, I don't know what it would have been like if we had raised earlier. But I think that's one thing that I've learned. Before you knock something out, learn a bit more about it. Find out, get more information before you say, I'm not going to try that at all. Secondly, in terms of growth, stay focused. Focus on your focus. There's something that says, the day your day, make I day my day. Yeah. Don't look at what anybody else is doing. Because a lot of times, I find that startups we're so quick to look at other people and say, that person has raised 2 million, that person has made, and then you now start doubting yourself and what you're building. So just stay focused, and over time, the business will show itself. The CNN video is a testament to it because, sorry, I'm getting a bit emotional, sounds calm.
Round of applause.
So, when we first watched the video, and I remember who it was, it's hard. So when we first watched I think it was Tolu Kukija, and we saw him, and maybe he started business like 3 years after us. And I remember I was watching it and thinking, now wow, I said, we'd have been here since, nothing. And between then and now, when we got the call, we were just like, you know what? We weren't ready at that time. So, sorry. No, I'm good. We weren't actually ready at that time. That's what I realized. Because I was thinking, okay, if they had come to interview, what would you have shown them? Like, what experience would you have given them? So, learn to stay focused. Don't be swayed easily.
Okay. Because I want this to be as interactive as possible, so we are going to open up for questions. But 11 years doing this, what is that 1 or 2 advices, you can take one or two each, that you would give to female founders coming and also trying to build? What is that one thing that you wish that if you had known 11, 8, 9 years ago, success is here, but is there another word after success again? If you're not there yet, okay, don't worry. We know it's humility, humility. So what's that advice to female founders from your experience also running your own startup?
It's one thing to be a female founder, then it's another thing to be a female founder in a male dominated industry. So I think just be focused and, come to work as a person. Don't say I'm a woman, so they should cut me some slack. Nobody owes you anything. So I think don't go in as you're a female founder, yes, but don't make your essence about that. Otherwise, you continue playing small. You just think, no, I can't, or they should give me. No, work for it and fight for yourself and prove yourself on your own. We've always talked about a time when Amma and I were speaking at an event, it was online, and they were asking for feedback or experiences for logistics owners to share some details about challenges they were facing or something, and they kept skipping what we were saying because they didn't rate us. And to the glory of God, I always say it's to the glory of God because it's not by our own power. A lot of those companies are no longer existent. It's not easy running a logistics company or any kind of company. So be humble. Don't go in as a woman or don't expect anything from anybody. Don't expect your friends to patronize you. Take it as a blessing if they actually do patronize you, friends and family. And then I think your money. Even if you're a solo founder, don't dip your hands in your company money. That's something that would kill your business faster than anything else. For us, we were able to, at the beginning, even if you can't afford a finance consultant, we didn't have a finance consultant at the beginning. While we're working in paid employments, we had a finance person. So we just said, oh, please help us take a look at our Excel spreadsheets, which Amma had already built. So he just put in formulas and stuff, and that helped us. Even when we now officially onboarded a finance consultant, those sheets that we were playing with as calling our tracker were what he helped to put our numbers in order. So no matter what it is, have something that records what is coming in and what is going out. At the end of the day, those numbers speak to you. They tell you whether, like I said earlier, whether you can cut this or cut that or add something else to the business, whether you can now move to a better space. For us, if you see our office, in fact, somebody came to our office once and said, that this office doesn't look like Jantigi. I'm like, see, forget about that one. I'm not going to spend our hard-earned money on beautifying the office and not be able to pay staff at the end of the month. So focus on what is most important, your welfare of your staff, attend to your customers. There are times that things will go wrong. You have to bring out money from your business and pay for losses that you have made. Or, things where you drop the ball, you have to actually make up for it. So if you don't have the money for that, but your office is beautiful, who you help at the end of the day?
I also say fail early and fail fast. Everyone messes up. So it's just about picking yourself up. Don't dwell on it. And don't be afraid to approach people that you think can be mentors or can be your helpers. And I call myself shameless. In fact, my husband calls me shameless because a lot of times there are people that I see. We came from Abuja the other day, and there was someone on the flight that owned the airline. And I had brought out my card and I had already scribbled on it. My name is this, and I would like to meet you, sir. That kind of thing. And my husband had rolled his eyes, thinking, here we go again, But as I got down, I said, I'm going to introduce myself. What's the worst he can say? He's not interested. He's walking off, And I remember as I spoke to him, he was like, oh, okay, no problem. Let me give you my number. This is my WhatsApp number. I'll give you my email address. And that's all it took. So don't be afraid. Just go ahead. If you see somebody that you think can help you, go for it. The worst they can say is no. And it's not going to be written on your face that they said no. Move on. You get so. Yeah.
Okay. Okay. So.
Oh yes, everybody that knows
you guys are like twins that did not born on the same day. How did you know that was what was in our head?
So yeah, always market your business. There's no shame in it. The worst thing they will do is laugh at you. In 2 weeks' time, they'll be asking you for your services or asking you how you did it. So yeah, please always market your business wherever you are. Fine. Maybe don't be too salesy, but just try and use your personality to sell your market.
In other words, hustle with some premium, but still hustle.
Yes, exactly.
It's not easy. So we'll open up for questions. But before we get the first question, please, I think I'll just allow this mic go round. Can anybody please help with taking this mic round for questions? Just one question? I thought. Who said my 12? You've hucked your thing on your head. They still know you as about 12. Okay. So yes, we'll take the questions, but before then, we'd also like to recognize someone who just joined us. You know, when B and I came here, they said, no, we have to show you that we are also around. And we have with us one of B and I's partner in private equity and fintech, Mrs. Ayodele Faboya. Thank you very much for coming. Thank you very much for supporting the dream. And we look forward to seeing you on the 22nd of May when you host everyone for their Lego Masterclass. So let's go to questions. Yeah.
All right. Hi, Kike and Ama. Your story resonates somehow with mine. You have not raised, and you're in an industry where people have raised. How do you play around price wars? How do you ensure that you're staying relevant, your customers are not moving to your competition, even though your competition is giving lesser pricing? Yeah.
That's key, and something that we're still on that table. We noticed, in fact, that's the place of a finance consultant. We don't do it ourselves. So they look at our costs, look at what's happening in the market, and sometimes I'm the one that's always fighting it. I'm like, see, how do I convince this, especially for businesses? We're now pivoting to B2B, mostly B2B sales, mostly B2B logistics services. How do I sell to a company who is used to paying £4 per kg or $4 per kg? The only thing that I've gotten, and I've asked a number of mentors and all that, is just sell the value that you provide. I always say, I'm still on this thing, that see, there's no difference. Just bring a package for me. Anybody can do it. But how do we now justify that extra £2 or that extra 50p that we're charging? It's by the service that we offer. And our team, we continue to, strike it in that let's see, and we take ourselves out and see how is this customer going to see this. There's an example about you're at the salon, for example. There's a taxi, and you know that the taxi fare is always 1.5 from this salon to your house. But on the day it's raining and you're standing outside, and the taxi says, I'm going to take 3.5. If you want to walk under the rain, you walk under the rain. But if you know you want to get home safe, you will pay the 3.5 because you see the value that taxi provides to you at that particular time. So it's about how you communicate value that you provide. Honestly, I'm the marketer. I'm the marketing partner. I struggle with it a lot. When I go back and say, oh, a customer wants this, I give a quote, and I'm like, let's try and bring this down. Let's try and bring this down. But they insist that we have to keep our costs at whatever it is. So these other companies know what their own costs are. You don't know. You're not privy to that. They might have raised, and maybe they're quiet about it, or they've raised investors' money, and they have a strategy. You're not in their strategy meeting, so you don't know how they've come up with their own pricing. So what we do is, maintain the relationship, do your best to just render a fantastic service to justify that extra 50p or whatever it is that you're charging. But at the same time, where you can, also, it's human relationships at the end of the day. Also, maybe give a promo at that time or just try and win the customer somehow. So I think it's a continuous thing for us as well. But good luck with finding a solution because we're still on it.
So I wanted to add to that. I think with regards to that, I think also understanding the business is another thing, because it's very easy for someone to raise investments and not understand what the business is about. And we've noticed that as well. You can raise investment, but you don't understand the logistics infrastructure, but you have the technology. And that's still a big problem. So once you understand that, and like Ike said, you have that value, you understand what to do in those situations, the customer will eventually figure out that this person knows better, and even though I'm going to pay a bit more, I'm guaranteed of the service that I'm getting compared to paying a bit less to somebody that has raised investment and is able to do their costs. Like Ike said, yes, she always fights for, bringing the costs down, but a lot of times we can't do that because it means that the whole team is going to suffer. And I mean, to the glory of God, we've never had a month that we've not been able to pay salaries, but we don't want to get there as well just because we want to please the customer and give them a promo. So
thank you. Hi Amma, hi Kike. Thank you so much for being vulnerable, for being authentic and being you. So my question is, how did you and why did you go the route of getting a loan as opposed to getting funded? or was that decision chosen for you?
It was easy. It was an easy loan that we knew our business could carry. And even with LSCTF, when they assess your books, they don't give you more than what you can actually take, what your numbers can give you. So even if you apply for 5M and they see your numbers and they think that, oh, it's only 2.5 your business can carry, they give the 2.5. So you're not stretched. Unlike, I don't know, back then with banks, attractive, and it's easy on the business. It doesn't put too much pressure on the business, especially when you haven't raised money. You're using your hard-earned revenue to actually pay the loan back. So I think that, yeah, it was just more attractive for us than banks or than investors at the time.
I even wanted to add, I think we approached the bank recently for a loan. And by the time we sat down with them, and this is supposed to be a female loan, by the time we sat down with them and they were calculating and calculating, okay, something, we were just like, I don't understand this one. He said, no. I said, okay, so if the money is in the account and you're not using it, are we still paying? Oh, this is what you're going to. We're like, okay, no. So just check it out first and see what works and how beneficial it is before you go for it.
Okay, next question. Okay, sorry, mine wasn't a question. It was a sort of response to her question. I think the experience should still remain unique to your brand, because I know of a service I used in 2021. Until date, if I close my eyes, I can still walk you through my experience from when I walked into the door to when they have my photos delivered. And I continue to recommend them, irrespective of whatever anyone else is billing, irrespective of whatever the current rates are. When I have international clients or I have to work with people, I must recommend them because of the experience. And then maybe this is just a bit of a thought-sharing process for everybody who is thinking about raising. Brethren and friends, see, people raise for different reasons. People raise and disappear after 1 year. People raise, I sit with a lot of donors and everybody is lamenting about the integrity system a lot of Nigerian businesses are practicing. Sorry, I don't have filter. It is horrible, right? So when you see people raise, you don't know how they raise, you don't know the details of the raising, but maintain your cause. Keep the picture open when they give you, when you come in contact, because one day you will. When you come in contact with a $300,000 donor or a $300,000 investor, what are you offering them that would make them say, take my money and I will come back to you in 2 years, and they are sure you'll be around in 2 years. So please ditch all that hype. Some of them is just fluff. When you get into the main cocoa, you will remove your eyes and run away. I was in several virtual family meetings, and you just open your mouth, this person gone, this person shut down, this person nowhere to be found, but they raised ridiculous amounts of money, and they are nowhere to be found anymore. So please, patiently raise. That's my input. Thank you.
Okay, sorry. Can we pass the mic to Tosin? She wants to add something. No, just let them pass it to the, okay, if you want to use the stairs. Thank you.
Thank you, everyone, and well done, Ama and Kike. You already know how I feel about you guys. But this is just a comment to your question, and I think what the last speaker just said about raising. And I like how she phrased it, patiently raise. I think if you don't raise, it forces you to be profitable. You find that a lot of people that are raising don't think about profitability or don't optimize for profitability. And that means you have to be raising, you have to constantly raise. And when you don't raise, your business dies. It's that simple. But if you don't raise and you start off with that mindset of only raising when you absolutely need to, so maybe perhaps you want to expand after you're already profitable, then it's a different mindset. It's a mindset shift. And I wanted to just point to an example of a company in South Africa that was acquired by Dell. It's a HR company, and the company is 20 years old. 20. In today's market, when some people hear 20, they say, oh, that business is old. That business cannot scale. That business will probably only be paying dividends from now to forever. But this 20-year-old company was acquired by an international company. So absolutely, based on what Kika said, stick to your race. Stick to your race. Be profitable. Keep your cost lean. And a VC, it might not even be a VC, PE, funder, whoever, that recognizes a real business with a real team that's doing something valuable would invest. And if they don't invest, eventually you might get acquired if that's what you want. And if you want, and if you don't want to get acquired, you want to continue building this business and have a legacy business, that's
Okay, good afternoon, Kike and Ama. So my question to you is, how do you handle decision making? Because I can see that you're two different people, and sometimes you need to make a decision and you guys have two different views. How do you make that decision? And then what happens when the decision goes bad? How are you able to manage, the whole situation?
I think that's a good question. Yeah, so for us, it depends on what we're deciding. So if it's something like, I don't know, something frivolous or something less important, whatever goes, sometimes we even leave it to the team. But when it's something that Amma and I absolutely have to decide, like what name to go for, where we're changing the name Cargo Plug, we just thought we would ask people, like something as, not silly, but something as simple as the name of your business. It's not as simple as we think. So it took us a while. In fact, it took us years, because from when we're 7, we realized that, see, this Jan's Gidi name is no longer working. Or from when we're 5. But then deciding on the name Cargo Plug was, okay, in fact, one of our friends helped us throw open a hackathon on her page. But at the end of the day, it still comes down to what both of us decide. I just think pros and cons, which one, for the benefit of the business at the end of the day. So the name, which one spells out, see, we might be doing something else tomorrow, which one spells out exactly what we're doing? Cargo Plug, or there were some other ones, and we just picked the one that, and there was even, I don't know if I should say it, you know Alabaru? Like people that carry, it wasn't going to be Alabaru, it was going to be Labaru, like, Labaru. All sorts. So it's just about looking at what's the fundamental of this question is, whatever it is that will work best for the business. Pros and cons. If we do this, what happens? If we do that, what happens? And mostly, in many cases, we always end up agreeing together. Some people say that's not a good thing. Some people say it's a bad thing. But we don't know outside of what we've been doing. We do, and we usually come together. A lot of the time, though, I might be on the other side, and then Amma is on the other side. But then we have a finance consultant who is kind of our third. He's not a founder or anything, but he's been with us literally since day one. So from a finance point of view, a lot of the times it's a financial decision or something that has a financial implication. So he would help us come as a middle ground, advice, and then at the end of the day, it's still me and this woman that have to decide what to do. So it's just a case-by-case basis, basically, depending on how important the decision is. Oh, hiring. Hiring became easy for us when we decided to start hiring based on our core values. So we have our core values, RICE, reliable, innovative/intelligent, customer-centric, and exciting. If you fall into these 4 brackets, and then you answer the questions well, you've shown us, you've spoken to your previous boss, you've shown us how you've met up to the KPIs we have in the past, you're very likely to be hired, because are you a good fit for the organization? Have you done it before? Do you fit into our culture? Let's go. I think that one is easier for us because we have core values. But if you hire based on, I liked her face or vibes, it won't work. Vibes is the last thing, exciting. You have to be exciting. Like, okay, are you fun? Are you... Well, not too exciting. Well, like, do you fit the culture of the organization, basically? So that's what we use for hiring.
So, ladies and gentlemen, you want to add anything to it?
No, I think the last thing I wanted to add was also be careful who you want to invest in your company. You should do your due diligence. It almost happened to us a few years ago, where we almost sold our business to somebody that would have been a hot mess. We would have been staff. In fact, we wouldn't have had jobs by now. So just be very, very careful. Do your due diligence. Don't be too quick to make that decision. Think about it. Ask your mentors. Ask a lot of questions. Ask them questions. Because, yes, they're giving you money, but you also need to know it's a relationship. It needs to work out. And if they start becoming a bit defensive, then you need to start asking more questions, questioning that.
Wow, this has been this is almost the highlight of today's program. And before we allow you go, just one very interesting question. So Amma, what do you love the most about working with Kike? And for Kike, what do you love the most about working with Amma?
It's always good vibes with Kike. You can never have a dull moments. Even though, you know, I shy away from social media, but when I watch the videos that she comes up with, after we've done a lot of silly things, you're there for like, this is me like 10 hours, like, oh God, can we just go now? But when I watch the videos after, I realize, you know, the effort that's gone into it. So it's always good vibes working with Kike.
So yeah. Best thing about working with Amma, I think do you know what it feels like being able to know that when you fall, there's someone there to hold you? I think it's priceless, whether it's a marriage or I think the best thing in your day-to-day business. So I know that Amma is someone I can 110% rely on, whether for business or even in my personal life. Yeah, we've been through a lot together, even personally, and just knowing that she's there, there's nothing like take Jan and take Giddy, whether for the business and even personally. So that's one thing I'm grateful for, and that's one of the things I like about Amma.
A round of applause for them, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you very much, Amma and Kike, for your time. Please, can we have pictures? Yes, yes. And afterwards, we'll be hearing another round of applause for them, please. This, for me, was a highlight of today's orientation session. Thank you very much. Like I said, I think that was the highlight for me. Thank you very much, Amma and Kike. So now we'll be recognizing some of our mentors. Please put your hands together for Lola Ekugu from Trademark Africa. We recognize you, even if you try to think we will not know. Thank you very much for coming. And we'll also be listening to some remarks from Claire from the French Development Agency. Okay. So Claire, can someone help me to tap Claire? Please, she's still here with you. Claire, please come share some words with our female founders before we close. Please come share some words with the female founders before we close. By the way, who is feeling Claire's Ankara?
Okay, hi. So I'm Claire from the French Embassy. Thank you, everyone. I'm very glad to be here. It's actually very impressive to have heard all your story and your journey in entrepreneurship track, right? So yeah, I think I really understand you. So I'm not an entrepreneur, obviously, but I'm still a woman. And I try to evolve in the main world of diplomacy, economic track, and everything. It's not easy every day, right? Some of us are mother, sister, daughter, to wife. And I think it makes us very resilient and very creative of how we can solve problems, right? So I'm very impressed by what you are doing, and I'm very confident about the coming weeks. I'm pretty sure that when we see each other at the end of June, you will be a different person, maybe with different projects. And I'm very excited to know more about your journey, and congratulations again. I think it's very brave that all of you are here. And yeah, I'm very confident about your journey and your upcoming success, so thank you and congratulations.
Thank you very much, Claire. Also, we'll be listening to some words from GIZ. Please put your hands together as I welcome Daniel Rita, Head of Components for GIZ. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Hakim. Yeah, just a few words. Thank you so much. I was coming in late, but I was witnessing this amazing panel and conversation. I think from GSH side, we are supporting this, and it's exactly that what we want to come out with. So to all female founders, to all female funders, we, and especially I am really, we believe in you. And it was very interesting to hear this and to feel the spirit in the room. And I think this is a tremendous and good start for the program that's ahead of us. Thank you so much for coming. I'm looking forward to see more. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Daniel. And we'll be having the final thank you very much from my end, from my colleague Ife Martins. Afterwards, we'll be taking the group pictures. After the group pictures, Madhouse has graciously said they will take us all on a tour of this facility. There are more rooms aside from the gallery upstairs. After that, we have a cocktail section designed behind this amphitheater where we just meet yourselves, have some good drinks and have some good chops, and then we'll say goodbye. So my colleague who likes being behind the scene, please come to the front of the scene.
Good afternoon. Good afternoon, everyone. Before I proceed, please, a round of applause for Hakeem. And I'll tell you why. If not for Hakeem, you won't be here. When Hakeem raised the idea of a female founders program, I was the first person to say, I don't think that's going to work. And the reason is, I work at the back end, I see the data, I see the trends. The number of male applicants compared to female applicants, the distance is very wide. So how do you now want to have that number of female applicants alone? How do we now want to sieve through those applicants to get credible startups to apply for this program? And he was able to make his arguments for a few days, and I was like, okay, let's try it out. Let's see. If not for Hakim's drive, if it was left to me, I'll say no. Let's just maintain our normal. So a round of applause for Hakim. And thank you to the founders. Thank you to the founders for clearing my own doubt. Thank you to the founders for clearing my own doubt, because a lot of people don't believe in government. Anything that has to do with government, they feel you must know somebody to benefit. Somebody must be inside. Somebody must do this for you. So it takes a lot for you to even see, okay, who are these people? This is Lagos and what are they doing? Let me apply. So it takes a lot. Thank you for taking that leap of faith. And hopefully by the end of the 8 weeks, you would have cleared your doubt as well. Thank you for applying. And to our various partners on this project, thank you for listening to us. We can't do it alone. Thank you to Madhouse for hosting us. Our office, we cannot take care of you in our office, if not for Madhouse. You have this as well. Thank you to GIZ. Thank you to AfriGlocal for trying to do this with us. Thank you. And to our LSCTF Exco, thank you for your support as well. Because if the Exco says no, I'm sorry, we won't be here. So thank you to our risk management. Thank you to the Director of Finance. Thank you to the Head of HR. Thank you for your support so far. And I hope that at the end of this 8 to 10 weeks, we would all have a different perspective. We would have seen the improvement of what we've been able to achieve. Thank you very much and have a wonderful afternoon.
Thank you very much. I could see the big smiles on Tosin's face when Ife was talking. Tosin's like, that's my Ife, oh. So right now, thank you very much. Please, a round of applause for yourselves, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you very much. So I leave you in the hands of the photographers. We'll be having our group pictures on your seats. Let's just all come together so that we're a bit more close-knitted. Afterwards, Chris of Madhouse and the team will take us on a tour of this facility, and then we have lunch afterwards. So please move closer so that it won't look as if we beg people to come and attend our event. Please, any empty space in front, fill it. Please, come down. Yes. This place in front, can you fill it? Yes, yes. Please come forward, come forward.
Eh? The lens carrier. Yeah. When they are done, you see the founders. Okay, shall we? Okay.
So thank you very much. So would hand you over to the team at Madhouse to coordinate the tour of this very incredible facility. Aziz, do you want to coordinate? Where is Chris? Okay. Okay. Okay, so we don't have, so the founders can have their tour. Partners, can we please have a group photograph? Yes, partners. Founders, you can go on your tour of this incredible facility. Partners, can we have a group picture? Sorry, partners, yes, partners. Then we'll have pictures of the mentors also. No, partners, and then we have mentors afterwards. Okay. Are you good? Smile because this was a success. Hee hee. Okay, can we just... Oh, you want to have it 2 layers? Okay, two layers. Yes, others can be behind them. Okay, Mr. Adeomi, yeah, where do you want to stand? No, shall you stand beside Daniel? Okay, come down here. You know, until you stand beside a very tall person, you don't understand that height is relative. You think you are tall until you stand beside someone very tall. Okay, thank you very much. So we have the mentors. Can we have our mentors for a group photograph? Mentors in the house, please. Okay, Chris. Okay, I'm coming. So can we have the mentors for a group photograph? Mentors, Tosin, Lola, Justina, if you're still around. And Cam for a group photograph. Lola, Ehal, thank you. Tosin, are you still around? Okay, for the mentors around, please, let's have a group photograph. Okay, I think let's do with what we have, and then we can add. Okay, then after this photograph, I hand over to the team at Man House to coordinate the tour. We come back for our cocktail and lunch.
Okay, hi everyone. The tour is about to start now, and I think we're going to start with the gallery until we get to the top of the building. So if you're coming for the tour, this will be a fantastic time to come here. Okay. You need someone to hold the door down for people. Yeah. This is actually quite cool. Okay, I think this is everyone. That's good. Okay, no worries. So this is the gallery. We currently have an exhibition called Emerging Expression. We collaborated with Create, a team of young students, really young, innovative students, to create the first undergraduate art fair in Nigeria. So the works here are from university students across Nigeria, and hopefully from the second version, it's going to be across Africa. But this also really aligns with what we're interested in here, really creating that platform and space for creative people to push the boundaries. I don't know, were you here at all? Have you been here at all? No? I'd allow you to take some time to go around to take a look at the pieces and let me know what you think. Yeah? You saw some of them? So paintings, photography, sculpture, everything. We're trying as much as... Yeah. Okay, so I think we're going to move to the next space.
Hello? Hello? Please, for founders, if you've not taken your headshots, kindly come in here. Hello?
come for it. But yes, the goal is to get these guys, incubate them for 3 months, 3 to 4 months, and at the end of the day, they will be able to pitch through some angel investors to give them funding for their product. Really. Yeah. So this way, please. Yeah. No, this is. I think it's a yeah. So this is the games room. We're still setting it up. We're hoping to get like a PS5 console so that we can be flogging each other. But it is the space where you come to chill when life is hitting you so hard. You know, as founders and like entrepreneurs, like you're thinking about 1,000 things at once. So we decided to create here to be that heaven where you really truly relax. We're hoping to set up a library up there. We're still looking for resources for that, but we also understand the importance of the library. There are a lot of creatives and a lot of creative entrepreneurs that need resources for that. So if any of you could want to support us or with the library, that would be really fantastic. But beyond that, we're hoping to set that up before the end of the year. Looking forward to that, fingers crossed. But yes, this is where you come when life hits you so hard.
What exactly are these? Is this like bread?
No, it's not bread. It's actually like cake.
Sorry, I have a question. Do you
Okay.
have like, because I also do things, I do jewelry, so more of art and make use of scrap metals, stainless steel metals, so as not to waste.
Yeah.
So instead of those waste, we adapt them using to make jewelry. So I wanted to ask, do you like, because I'm seeing this here, I'm looking at this, anything metal attracts me. Do you like have machines? Because obviously they can't use hand to hold. So do you have like machines that help artists to actually produce their things like mold, the bicycles, spider webs and everything? Do you have that?
So we're trying to get that. We're working on a residency. We wanted to start one in Lagos, but we may have to do it in Abuja. There's a bigger space in Abuja.
Okay.
So
maybe this is where I'll come in.
Okay.
Because I make use of laser machines, laser cutting machines, laser soldering machines, laser machines to help, because that's what you can work with metal. So probably the space thing, I'll see how we can work on this, because I don't just want to go into jewelry alone, but there are other things like art and all this stuff. I mean, this is really nice for me seeing it, and as an artist, as a jewelry artist. So I'll just try and see where I'll come in and help with you guys.
that's really fantastic. Most of the first resident artists we're getting are sculptors too. So it's really something we're thinking about, but we can always have like more conversation about it. But we want to get an industrial like area where, because we also know that some of these equipments are so expensive,
Yes,
right? So Madhouse is that space where you can come create work dependent on the arrangement and all of that. But yes, it would be really lovely to hear from you.
Thank you.
Is it open to your students too?
So Unilag, yes.
Unilag.
Because we're collaborating with Unilag in a certain way. For the residency, no.
What do you mean by residency?
So residency is like an art residency. We do an open call, get a few artists to stay here. And
Aside
work,
them,
and we support them.
other people have to pay.
So yes, we're working on a membership, like a Madhouse membership on different levels.
So once you pay that, you have
access to the games room, and you have access to some other things. I see you smiling. I get in the Madhouse residency. I get to
have free access now because I'm coming from Lagos to Nairobi.
Yeah. So, but this way.
We are just asking for people who might want to, come in. I forgot that it's there by the way.
You're joking me. I'm like,
Really? I want to get back to my
to do that. We'll have another. the people so that people don't get lost. Okay, amazing.
It's even more adopted. Just like a seafood and organics.
So this is the photography studio. It's fully functional with everything you need for a studio and also the monitor, because this is also like an educational monitor of some sorts. We have big printers and small printers too. This whole floor is more of like an ecosystem for digital work. Beyond this, there's also a computer lab. I'll show you there. But we also want to create space for young photographers and video creators to use, because it's also a huge problem in the industry right now. When I'm a photographer myself, and if this was provided for me, I would be sleeping here every day. We can move to the next room. But it's an ecosystem. There are open spaces around the building, because we also want it to be really connected to nature. It's quite sad that because of the material we're using to build, it gets really hot. So we can't even use the window option. We have to use ACs, which is really, really sad. But in architecture, if you notice, there are a lot of extended spaces and all of that. It is what it is. Hopefully we can get green soon. We're hoping to connect with the people at GIZ to see if there's a possibility of getting on screen. But yeah. Yes, it is. You just need to we are also trying as much as possible not to make so much noise about it, because like if we do, the capacity of what you guys, the capacity will kill us. So I think it is really easy.
Maybe via booking, perhaps?
So the membership thing is is a huge priority for us right now, so that people can use.
I feel like that membership thing is going to be. Thank you for covering your different questions.
Your house is busy now, like what's going on? I used to be on like 200K. There's not going to be like there's the students and the student price, then there's the professional price.
Are you a student? There's
a lot of life. So this is the computer room. Basically the same thing. There are a lot of creatives that don't have access to such fast-moving computers to create games, to create animation and all of that, and we decided to create that for this too. Obviously, like it's given out to people too on an individual basis, but like also the membership covers this too. But yes, that's a little tour of my house. There's a co-working space that we can't show you now because it's still being worked on, but by the end of May we should be ready for entrepreneurs and other creatives to come around to use the space, because we really want to create that community of young thinkers and doers and creators to come share space. So beyond the work you're going to be doing, you're going to be meeting other high level quality people here. So thank you so much for coming to my house. I hope your event was great. I hope to see you guys a lot soon.
Yeah, we have sort of a discount, don't we? Like voucher.
Yeah, there'll be a voucher when we conclude with Lagos State, but like I think there'll be a voucher for you.
Yeah. Awesome.
Okay. I can take questions, I can take comments. Yeah.
The architecture of the space, like, do you know who did this?
The architect is at day. The surname always runs away from my head, but like I can get that to you. Yeah. Well, he's one of the leading architects in Nigeria currently. So. And we really wanted to combine the modern and the ancient type of building in Nigeria. And all that. Any other questions?
Whenever you have an event, IT is open to public. Is it like posted online so we can know social media?
Yes. So our social media is Madhouse by Tikera Africa. And please just follow us and follow through. We have a lot of programs coming up. We have a creative enterprise program coming up probably next year. And just watch out. We have community events every month. We're trying to do that because why not? So it's either a workshop or a party. So that I can come and flex like and meet other creators, but maybe like a talent thing, like an open mic event. So just watch out. You would hear a lot of things happening. Next weekend, on Saturday, there should be an exhibition opening beyond this. All female artists, 4 of them. Brilliant works. So if you're available next weekend, please come around on Saturday. And we're hoping to do like an open mic night on Saturday too. So.
Yes, I think that would be a great idea.
Yeah. You look like someone that likes party. Just that you go and sit down after a party. Like you're always exhausted. Okay.
So what is the maintenance like for you?
How do you mean now?
So in the next 5 years, so the standard will still be there?
Yeah. I mean, like, maintenance is really important for us. In terms of institutional building, structure-wise, like actually physical structure, we have partners that are always going to come in to take a look at the space, quality assurance, and all those bits of things. But in terms of institutionally as an organization, we're really building structure because another thing we notice, and something I'm really particular about, is a lot of creative spaces are not structured well. And if that structure if that foundation is not put right, nothing happens. So money comes in, but it bleeds out. And for us, we're really, because this is what I did, like art management, and this is what I do professionally. So we're building that structure. So that it's not a one-man business. You're accountable to people, and people can literally hold you by the neck. Like, okay, Chris, what's going on? Like, where's the money going? Like, what's happening? Why are your programs on? So I put things in place, checks and balances. Very important for us. Very, very important. Yeah. Okay, any other question? Chris, Udo. Yeah. Can I do a quick one of your names too?
I'm Claire.
Claire.
Musmola.
Musmola. Got it. Okay.
Ada.
Ada is very simple. Maiwa.
Tosin.
Ruby.
Teju.
Tone. I like the way you say it. I like the way you say tone. Like it's tone.
Easy.
It's very
short for Ade Tone, whatever you want to call it.
Okay. And Timmy. Amazing. How is it like working for the People's Practice? I heard you talking about
best culture in
best
the world.
culture.
But
Really
I'll leave him to say it.
Okay. No cow. No, you're not convincing me. Like you can just say no cow.
I mean, it's not convincing for the fact that he came along with her. That's enough to prove that.
He can be happy.
No, I mean, he's very rare.
No, but talk about it a little bit. Because I think like we need good HR in Nigeria.
Yeah, we do.
The trials are always seen as together.
I know, which is why I'm
so
I would say for someone that has seen a lot of people's work culture, I would I would think twice. It would be very difficult for me to work somewhere else.
Interesting.
Yes.
It's very true, my job. Do you send your staff to the States?
Well, we hope so. We're expanding, so a few of them will go to Kenya and Ghana.
I'm very happy to
But I support them. I'm such a great boss. You can even have side hustle. You can invite me into this.
No, I think it's very important. Like,
I'm like,
it's needed to have side hustle. Like, for me, for me, if you don't have side hustles, then you're really not growing, and you're also not honest with yourself, because Nigeria is hard. Like,
actually, it's not just Nigeria.
Nigeria is hard. The economy is crazy. So you need to be happy, and happiness comes from multiple sources of income. So amazing work. Hopefully, I'll see a lot of you soon. Have an amazing day. Thank you. I'm around to do one-on-one. No worries. I know you're going to hunt me down.
Yeah.
Okay.
Maybe we're thinking the same thing. I said, Timmy, this is where we should come for a half day. He said, Chris, what? So, Timmy, yeah, we should. So, Udon.
Yes.
Then it's my house on Instagram.
I'm from Akwago.
Okay, thank you so much.
That was all your
Chris Udon. Hello, Chris. Just meeting
I'm coming.
All is well.
Thank God.